Rachael Merrick, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Southeast Queensland in Australia. I am joining all of the demonstrators from around the globe this month for our monthly video hop. And the theme this month is celebration. So if you're new to Stampin' Up, you may not realise, but we have two promotions that run throughout the year called SaleABration, and that's a fabulous rewards program for when you spend. You do get to choose some free products. So in Australia, the spend is $90 for a free product, which is easy to spend when you, especially when you're getting started, or like me, want a little bit of everything. So this little catalogue, which looks like this, okay, SaleABration, has lots of bits and pieces in it, and today I've chosen two of the products out of here. One is a designer series paper, a 6x6, which you get a lot of paper, and it's a beautiful, bright, cheery kind of paper. And the second one I have chosen is a sentiment set. Now, everybody loves a good sentiment set. This is 21 sentiments, pretty much covers everything from birthdays to a happy hello to get well soon kind of sentiments, and even a sympathy one, which we don't like to do, but we do need them occasionally. So today's card, exciting. So a little bit of a backstory. I actually did do another video for this. Australia's had a little bit of the global shipping problem, and we've been impacted quite a fair bit with our SaleABration. So we've had to kind of extend some of our SaleABration because some of the products weren't available soon enough. So I'm excited to say that today my big box arrived. And it was a very big box because I did a very big order, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for those products to arrive. So part of that was today's paper. So, and I'm super excited because as much as I love bright, colourful DSP in particular, this one also has some more softer elements, and the softer elements are always great for a get well or a male orientated card, or that sympathy style kind of card. So it's very, very versatile, and they have an A and B side, as I call them. Old school record CD tape kind of person over here, where you had an A and a B side. So the B sides on this one are great. They're really good, solid, basic patterns that can be incorporated to lots and lots of uses. So today's card is this one, and it is a cheery, get well kind of card for a male. Doesn't have to be a male, of course. I personally love blues and greens. They're my favorite colors. So you can see not a lot of bling on this one, but there is some. And the trick for the clouds, they are a part of the DSP. And if you buy the punch, my new favorite tool, then that cuts those out. How cool is that? So join me and all of the other team members in this hop and discover some of the great uses for these free products. All of us have our details underneath our video in YouTube. We also have all the links to everybody as well. Please make sure that you click subscribe and follow along. It'd be great if you could leave a comment as well. We do all love a comment. So please join us in celebrating SaleABration. So today for our card, we're going to be using some of the SaleABration items that goes with this mini catalogue. The first one we're going to use is the Sunshine and Rainbow 6x6 paper. Now these are gorgeous. Let me see if I can flick through some. Look at the colours, lots of great patterns and everything. And like you look at it and go, a bit girly, but there is some great neutral or I guess male orientated themes in it as well. So for out of this pack, we are going to use these two fabulous pattern papers today, designer series papers. So this one is Granny Apple Green and Misty Moonlight, bit of Mango Melody in there, Bermuda Bay as well, and Pool Party Seafoam. So that's our colour scheme for today. And so we've got this paper, which the reverse side, or B side as I call it, is great. It's this lime Granny Apple Green, and it's got this kind of dotted or Morse code style pattern across it as well. And what I love about this one is that it matches the cloud punch. And we're going to be using that today to add elements to our cards. I'm currently loving all the rainbows and clouds. It's my kind of thing, so that's what we will be using there. And you can see I've already made a little bit of a start, but I will show you how that all lines up and how to punch really easily. Like I said, Granny Apple Green base, and then our first matting is just that little bit smaller, half a centimetre smaller in metric terms, and that's going to form our base. So that's what you're going to need in the basic white and the Granny Apple Green. We're also going to use the stitched rectangle, sorry, and from the larger one, we're going to be using the second largest one. And this has that double stitching, so when you do run it through your cut and emboss machine, both sides will get that stitching element, and we need that for this cute little trick. Not only will it add a fantastic layered element to our card, but it will also make it easy for us to save a little bit of DSP. So who doesn't love to do that? Okay, and finally, another SaleABration item is this one, and it is the Special Moments. It is full of sentiments, 21 different sentiments in it. And today I think I will use the Hang in There or Thinking of You, one or the other. This is kind of a, oh, I hope you feel better kind of card, because, you know, a lot of people out there at the moment are feeling a little bit unwell, under the weather. So this is kind of a play on the under the weather with some clouds and rainbows elements. So let's get started. Like I said, we've got our base, the Granny Apple Green, which in metric is half of an A4, scored again in half and then folded. So we're going to form our base of our card, and then the very first layer, and this is quite typical of my kind of cards, is that just ever so small, half a centimetre smaller there. And all of my measurements and products for today will be listed below, as well as with all of the links for the hop today. So what we're going to do is we're going to punch out some clouds. Now, I don't like to waste anything, and you can see with this DSP there is some partial clouds, and we're going to use those to our advantage. So I have punched out two already, and I'm going to show you the third one, which is one of the ones that has come off the side. So I unclip my punch. Now, I don't know, not everybody clips these closed. I do, because it makes it so much easier to stack them for storage. I don't have a huge amount of storage in my little area for craft, so the more storage I have, the better, and more safe, space saving. So we slip it in, and we just line it up, and we take our time, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this. It has the most smallest of white borders. Now I'm holding that down with one hand. It's holding it in place, but it's not cutting it. And I make sure it's all lined up before I put the final pressure on, and it pops out like so. This is going to actually sit on the edge of part of our card. So it looks like you've deliberately cut it, but really you're just using every single piece of that. And I mean, out of this, it's like, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8. You're going to get a good probably dozen or more clouds that are usable for cards, as long as you're using this method of having some cut and butted against the edge. So let's get started on construction, because this is actually not that difficult, this card. So like I said, I've got a cloud. I've actually got a full cloud and another partial cloud, and that has come from the bottom here. And I'm going to turn it upside down, and that will give a different element for my clouds as well. So we're going to pop this one here. What I've done is I have taken this paper, this Designer Series paper, and I have used that stitched rectangle die, and I have trimmed it so it fits within my white matting, and then added the middle piece. Now that probably doesn't make sense until you see it. So here it is here. And you can see,
I didn't get that. Could you try
oops,
again?
there goes Siri on my watch. It's a shame she doesn't get it. So I have cut it like that. Now all we're going to do really, and again, saving some bits of DSP because I'm using one piece to create a layered look, and I simply flip that over. So I am going to actually use this middle section and I'm going to pop it up. So let me show you that part. Again, I'm just going to remove my granny apple green. I don't tend to stick down until the very last moments of putting my card together. And I can't quite see everything in here, so I'm just going to hope with my fingers crossed that I get everything all under control. So it is simple. It is putting these elements together and then stamping and cutting a little banner. So let me show you. So I'm going to use the border section first and simply just stick it on. Now of course you can do this with any of the DSPs. You can use the flip side and like I said, I've just trimmed it back so it fits and then stuck that die in the middle. So here it goes onto my white. Now being metric, it doesn't quite sit exactly center, and that's okay. So I'm just going to try to fit it as best I can using that wiggle room that the glue gives us and trying not to stick it down too quickly. There we go. And there we go. So that's it there. And now I'm going to pop this part up. This is really a simple card. Once you get it all going and elements are cut out, it doesn't take long to put together. I'm going to grab out a new sheet. It's always exciting when you've got a new sheet of dimensionals. So I'm going to flip this one over because it's going to go in the center there, and I'm going to add quite a few dimensional dots. I want this fairly stable. So I'm going to add, 6 around the outside first. And then I'm going to add 2 more in the middle. If you don't want it to sag, you can add more. And hopefully this will come together really, really quickly. Just taking these off. And then you're going to have to get above it and line it up so that it sits exactly in the correct spot. Now don't push those dimensional dots down until you know you've got it in exactly the right spot. It's not popping up enough that you're going, whoa, that's really sticking out, but it is enough to give a little bit of dimension. Okay, and now for our clouds, I'm going to stick those on. Again, butting up the edges. So I'm going to go all the way to this green edge here. You could just do it in this section, but I do want it to go all the way to one edge. So I'm going to just glue these on. Fairly simple. I don't want it to be too complicated. Just a little bit of glue on here, and I'm going to line it up before I press it down. Then this one is going to go up here in this corner. So it's going to lay just a little bit down there. And of course, it's not going to glue onto that green section. It's only going to glue onto this popped up section. But I have added glue all over just so that I know exactly where it is actually going to stick. And finally, this one, I want it to sit up a little bit. So I'm going to add a few more dots to this one, mainly to this bottom section, leaving a little bit on the top purely because that top part will stick over the top ever so slightly, and I don't want it sticking in an odd angle. So there we go, like so. And this is, well, the good part about this is you can just play with those cloud elements. I just want them to sit there, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my sentiment there along here and stick it on just like a little label, nothing too complex, and then it's going to go onto here. Very simple card, like I said. So just give me a second and I'll get my stamps out and my ink pads. I think for today I will use Misty Moonlight on a white tag or white little piece of cardstock. So just give me a sec. So here are sentiments, and what I really liked about this set, it's probably one of my very first ones that this really has occurred with, is the images, or the spot where you put them inside is actually printed on the inside of your little container. So that's really cool, because then I know which ones are missing. So here we go. We are going to put the hang in there. Yeah, I think that's a good one to use for today. So hang in there. Now I've got to find it, which would be, might be that one. Nope. Here we go. Hang in there. And like I said, I am going to use Misty Moonlight for this one. I didn't want like a black sentiment. I just wanted it to match though. Use my little piece of scrap white. There we go. Hang in there. Stamps really nicely, and it's a really pretty little font. So all I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to trim it back using my scissors. Like so. And it's going to go here. So I'm just going to trim it back a little bit. Like so. And again, a couple of dots on the back of that one. To pop it on here. And I want it to just hang off the side like that. And again, here we go with our base, just gluing it on. Now, because I am using this actually for a male, I will go easy with my bling. However, usually I do add a fair bit of rhinestones or something similar, but for today we're going to go fairly easy. I have got some here which I'll grab, and this is the new iridescent gemstones, and I'm just going to add a couple of those, not too much. There goes my puppy dog. And I'm just going to add them to the bottom of my clouds, kind of like a bit of raindrops, I guess you could say. And there we have it, a very simple card for celebrations. Don't forget that when you spend over a certain amount, and it is different in every country, but you do have choices. This is a slightly bigger spend that you get for this one, but your basic spend, you will get the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP, which is super popular. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I will catch you at our next monthly video, but don't forget to pop over to everybody else's as well. I'm sure they have some inspiring projects for you.